to the utmost.
Brought to you by Utley Chiropractic.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to The Utmost. This is not a podcast for mediocrity. What we're trying to do here is maximize our God-given potential. We're not surviving, we're going to thrive. Let's get it. I got a special guest with me, my daughter, Ryan Utley. What's happening, baby? How you doing?
Good.
All right. Yes, we are very happy to have her as a guest today. And this is a podcast for the parents and for the student athletes. You know, Ryan has been doing very well with herself in the sport of soccer, to the point where now she has a scholarship going to the University of Alabama A&M. Shout out to Coach Board and the Alabama A&M soccer team. So we are very excited about that. And what's even more exciting, that she's going early and she's leaving in a couple of days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about going to the next level?
It feels exciting. It also just feels like very fun because I get to just experience a new level of competitiveness, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really exciting.
Okay. And you get to go to college. You know what I'm saying? You get to be away from us. How does that feel?
I kind of feel like in between. I feel excited because I'm starting to be by my own, but I'm also gonna miss being at home. So.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you too. But I mean, you got to keep going forward. This is a new chapter in everybody's life, and we're excited about it. But you know, we want to talk about soccer today and how you get to this point. You know, so what made you, or how did you get started in the soccer game?
I feel because we watch a lot of sports at home, and I feel like just being around people who've played sports and us just the family being really competitive, I feel like that helped me gain my love for soccer. So I definitely say my environment.
Well, we must talk about your ballet days. We had you in ballet, and that wasn't the best because you was making faces during your recital, so clearly that wasn't for her. So we moved on to say, let's go for gymnastics. And gymnastics, how was gymnastics for you?
That was really I don't know, that was way back. So I don't really, I have glimpses of it. I remember I was just having fun, just playing around.
Yeah, you was just there.
Yeah,
you was
basically.
Just there. And then we heard about soccer, and the soccer field was right down the street. We signed up, and we got into the rec league. And when we was in the rec league and we was playing, and I just remember, I still have that picture to this day when you scored your first goal, and you was just grinning like a Cheshire cat. You know what I'm saying? I said, this is it right here. I saw the love for it. I saw the excitement from you, and from then on, it was just on and popping, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you were going through the academy and whatnot. Just tell me about your timeline and how you was playing, and how did the soccer kind of evolve, and what position do you play?
So currently I play defense, or specifically I play outside back, and that's basically just, for people who don't know soccer, it's just you prevent other people from scoring the ball into the goal. And so I started out soccer playing rag, and I was just having fun, and then I went to academy, and that's where it started getting more competitive because we had levels, and then the practices started getting more constant, and then it just became part of my routine.
How were you on this first team?
No, I wasn't always on the first team. I started out on the second team, and then gradually I just tried to work my way up.
Okay. And did you get to that point? I mean, I know we've had some bumps and bruises along this road, but this is what created you to be who you are. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's shed some light on, was this an easy path, or was it straightforward? Did you have to work? What was going on?
No, it wasn't an easy path. I always had to. I feel like I had to work harder in certain aspects. I feel like I've always been very athletic, but there were some times my technicality and my tactical, I always had to work extra hard on to get where I am.
I remember asking your first coach, and I was like, okay, what we need to do to get more playing time and this and that. And she said, he said, what's happening is that she's growing very tall for her age, and it creates a little bit of lack of coordination. So we just got to wait till she grows into it. But I mean, going through a parent's head, I was like, I don't want to hear that crap. I mean, I want her to get ready. Let's play. I want to see her on the field, but it required time. So it spent a lot of time in the backyard just learning how to get some rhythm and kick the ball and receive it. And we was doing a lot of practicing, a lot of fussing, a lot of crying. But I mean, we stuck with it, and then she started playing a little bit more. But then you started going to get some outside training. Talk about the outside training and how that helps you.
So I feel like doing stuff on your own is also good, but doing it with other people is better because it's kind of like helping you prep for the real game. So I feel like outside training is good because you're going against people who probably are like better than you in different aspects, and it also just helps you gain confidence as well. So I feel like outside training is also really good, and it just helps you aim or like get better at certain things that you need or like certain weaknesses that you have to work on.
Okay. And you felt, I noticed a difference when you started going to, it was a gentleman by the name of Raphael and global soccer training. He's moved to Florida now, but when he was there, shout out to Rafa, when he was there and you was working with him, first time he was sending people back, so for him to keep you there and you was learning how to play and get tough, and you was playing with boys and girls, and it just made your skills grow even harder. You just got more of a dog in you, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the aspect of me playing against boys also helped because I became more aggressive, and usually when I am on the field, I tend to be more like one of the most aggressive people on the field. So I feel like playing against boys or just playing against people who are stronger definitely helped my play.
What were some moments where you really felt like you belonged?
Some moments, I feel like
you can compete, you belong at this level. Now, this level, what we were talking about is ECNL, with Elite Club, National League, and it's the cream of the crop. That's where the most competitive level is, and that level wasn't given to us. We had to crawl to get into that level, but once we made it, what made you feel like you belong?
I feel like me being able to stop the best of the best. There were times where my team, we would be at the top of our region, and so we go to like the national tournament, it's called, nationals of course, and we just played the top teams in the country. And I feel like the times that we did play the top teams, that was when I was most focused and most locked in. And of course I did have like anxiety and nervousness before, but when I like started playing, I got more confident. And it was to the point where like there were like girls who were going to Power 4 schools and they just wouldn't beat me, and I feel like that increased my confidence.
For sure. Confidence is a terrible thing. You know what I'm saying? When you have it, you're on top of the world. And this does not just apply to sports, it applies to life. When you having confidence, you can feel like you can accomplish anything. But when your confidence is shaken, oh my gosh, you start to doubt, you start to think. And I think one of our main situations as we grew and developed was your confidence. You know what I'm saying? Because when you was out on the field, it was times where you second guessed yourself while you was making decisions. Should I do this? Should I do that? And it just comes with time and playing, right? So can you talk about the confidence level and how you were shaking at sometimes and how you were able to overcome it?
Yeah, I feel like when I was younger, confidence wasn't really a thing because I was just like, I wasn't really mature enough to like know about like everything. But I feel like once it started getting more competitive, I got more like anxious and I got more nervous, and I think that's where like my confidence issues kicked in. But I feel like working and just like working really hard and just believing in yourself, it helps improve your confidence. And I feel like over time, like through my soccer career, that's definitely helped me, because there would be times where I would second guess on the field, and sometimes like my second guessing would cause like a play or something, and it constantly would play back in my head. But I feel like for confidence, you just have to remember like one mistake doesn't define you, and I feel like you should just brush it off and just keep thinking about what you're good at and just move on.
That's awesome. I mean, I just want to share a couple things, because I remember, and like I said, this wasn't an easy situation. When they started getting competitive and the work was being put in, there was still doubt. And like I said, it comes with time. This is part of the process, parents. You got to go through this process with your child. And it's not the easiest thing in the world, because yes, you want to play, and then you want them to play, you want to see them play, you want to brag about them and show their videos on Facebook and everything else. But it was times where I was going to the coaches like, okay, what does she need to do? How can she get better? And a lot of times the coaches was telling me, and I didn't understand it at that point. It was just like, she has everything physically. she's out there. She can touch. She has good touches. She runs hard. She works. She puts the time in. She just got to believe in herself. And I'm like, when is she gonna believe in herself? And that's been a maturation process from first starting in competitive soccer in academy all the way up until this point. And now we feel like, what I tell you all the time, your best soccer is what?
Yet to be played.
Yet to be played, and it's the truth, because now that I feel like the things are starting to come together, where you were seeing a lot of girls peak very early. You know what I'm saying? It was looking like Jordan out there or Messi out there, right, at like 6 years old or 7 years old, and that pathway didn't stay long. You know what I'm saying? Some of them fell off and whatever, some still playing and whatnot, but you just kept climbing, and you're still climbing. So, like I said, your best soccer has yet to be played, and I just can't wait to see it on the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But while her soccer was developing, we was about to get ready to go to ECNL, and this was when COVID hit, remember? And the coach had you running all these miles and recording yourself on video and doing this and doing that so we can get to the ECNL. And then finally, the cuts were made. Did you make ECNL?
No.
No. And that was heartbreaking, man. It was heartbreaking. We was like, what the heck? And so, we was like, okay. He said, yeah, we're going to go down to, I want you to play the RL. And one of the words he sent, a long email, one of the things he said was, she's just not that good enough, or she's not good enough. I said, heck no. You know what I'm saying? I said, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. And we just kept working. I said, this is what he said. I let her read the email. I let her print it out and put it on her wall so she can see it for motivation. You know what I'm saying? And as time went on, we kept working, and we made ECNL, didn't we? That year, we left the club, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
We left the club, and that was one of your hit lists. You know what I'm saying? So when you came back and played that club, what happened?
I did really good.
You did great.
Yeah, I did
You
great.
did great to the point where the coach actually said, we'd like for her to come back. You know what I'm saying? And we were like, no, we are happy where we're at. Now, when we got to that ECNL level, you played with the platinum team, which is the top of the top. These girls was already had it going on together, but you was still trying to develop. How did that year go for you?
I feel like I still had confidence issues, and I was still like unsure of myself. And I transitioned to a team that was really good, and all the girls were like, the environment was known for being like really competitive. And at the time, I just had self-doubts, and I would just think that I wasn't able to handle it. And I feel like that impacted my play, even though I deep down, like, I know I could hang with them. I just think that my doubts just like impacted like my performance.
Yeah, for sure. And that affected how you got along with the girls on the team. That was amazing, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It affected how you communicated with them and how you was able to gel or lack thereof. And then at the end of the season, what happened?
I got cut.
Say it again so people can hear.
I got cut.
You got cut. Ouch. You know what I'm saying? And then at that time, there was another girl on another team and decided to quit playing soccer. She said, I want to quit. And I told you, so-and-so quit playing soccer. And then you said, I want to quit playing soccer. You remember that?
Yeah.
I want to quit playing soccer. And this was a line for the parents that we had to draw a line in the sand. And one of the things that my wife and I had to decide is, do we let her quit playing soccer? And one of the things we said was no. And the reason for that is because your best soccer what?
Yet to be played.
It has yet to be played. You're quitting because somebody else told you wasn't good enough. But you felt that you still can compete, but somebody who's telling you that you couldn't play with them on their team, and now you're feeling like you don't need to play anymore, that's not a good enough reason. We want you to say, okay, I don't want to play soccer anymore because I don't have the love for it, or I don't want to play because I don't like the sport anymore. Not because somebody has cut you. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we went right back to the drawing board, kept working, kept developing, kept honing in skills, and the skills were growing to the point where you played that team. And how did you do against the team that you got cut from again?
I did really great.
You did really great. To the point where you locked down one of the locked down one of the strikers that was on the team, and you did an excellent job. And once again, that's when you felt like you belonged. And throughout this process, it's just getting better and better and better, and keep working.
Now a word from our sponsors.
That was needed. Right there. You feel that?
Oh yeah,
That's our problem right there.
Oh man. I figured that was it.
One more time. Clean it out. Right there. Good. Now turn this way. Should be a little easier. Is that better?
Yes.
Tender right here?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's what it's needs.
When we talk about it, but we wanted her to be Ryan, the sweet girl outside of the soccer lines, but when you get inside the soccer lines, you had to turn into another person. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I feel like there's like sort of an on and off switch with certain like aspects. I feel like off the field you can be as sweet as you want, you can be really kind, but on the field, especially in like being like a defender, you have to constantly be on a mode where you just know like you can't let anybody past you, and I feel like that's definitely helped me and with my aggressiveness and just making sure like I limit the amount of mistakes that I make.
Yeah.
In the back.
And understand, parents, mistakes need to be made. That's how growth is occurring. And we're not, writing the book on this. And so many people have come before us and moved on to play bigger and better soccer and go on to play professional or whatever. But this is our story. And we hope that our story resonates with some people who are going through challenges. And the challenges are okay. Because like she was saying, getting better, and now we're learning how to actually play the position, where to be at certain times, and starting to learn where to go, and it made the game a lot easier, didn't it? How to defend, not just running up on somebody and letting them go past you. It's like, how do you defend? Where do you need to be in space where the ball is? And we're still learning that. But the beauty of all of that is getting better and better each and every game, or each and every day, correct? Mm-hmm. All right. So what made you want to be a defender? Why not a forward? Why not a midfielder? Why not a goalie? Why did you want to be a defender?
I think maybe I just like being really aggressive. I remember even since I was little, I've always been one of the most aggressive people on the field. And I feel like being a being an outside back, you can be as much like aggressive as you want.
Okay. Do you talk stuff to the girls on the other team and stuff like that? I mean, what are the words that are exchanged while you're on the field? I know it can be a dog-eat-dog world out there.
I mean, sometimes, like, if you're really on them or you're really being aggressive, like, they'll say stuff and I'll just, like, say it back. And it's just kind of, like, funny or whatever. But, I mean, it's fun being aggressive and just, like, shutting them down and boost your confidence. So.
Yeah, for sure. No, I just saw how you started playing the defense, and you just started taking affinity towards it, and you was just doing your thing out there, and it was a beautiful sight to see. Now, one of the things that my wife did bring up, shout out to my wife, because she is a big, huge part of your maturation and growth, was to get some counseling, right? And, I was like, what the heck we getting counseling for? I'm telling her everything she needs to know, but at the same time, she started getting this counseling. Let's talk about that a little bit.
So I feel like counseling did a really big part in like my soccer career because I was able to talk to someone about like the feelings that I was like bottling up, and I was just able to get like solutions or like advice, and I feel like that really helped me with not even like off the field but on the field as well, and just with school and like friends and stuff like that. So I feel like counseling helps with like pretty much everything. So.
And I started seeing how the counseling was helping you, and your counselor was good. Can we say her name or?
I don't think so.
Shout out to Dr. Mallory. I'm gonna say it anyway because she did a very good job in helping my daughter overcome some obstacles. I mean, but the crazy thing was, it's like, how was your session? I asked her how her session goes. She said, yeah, she told me to play hard, don't think about anything else on the field. And I said, I've been saying that. So I'm like, why am I paying you or paying somebody to say the same things that I was saying, but coming from another source? How does that feel?
It feels good because it's also like hearing a second opinion as well, or just hearing things that you it kind of gives you reassurance in a way, not validation, but reassurance that you can do things that you put your mind to.
I mean, you get tired. I mean, you hear your parents all the time, though, right? And it's like from this other voice of reason, and it's putting to you in a certain way, a soft tone and stuff. Because I can be aggressive with the words that I say. There are some times where we had not so good games, and the pleasantries in the car weren't the best in the world. But you know what I'm saying? This person is putting in a different context or a different way of speaking, and it's helping you out a lot. So no, this is awesome. This is awesome. Now you are finishing with the ECNL and you're transitioning on to the next level, and you're going to Alabama, and you're going in the spring. Why are you going early?
I feel like nowadays a lot of athletes decide to go to college early. I want to go to college early because I can start on my academics early, and I can also just like find a balance or just go with the flow of the college life, because I feel like for soccer, once in the fall, once you go, it's like immediately soccer and then you have school. And I feel like for me, I want to gently ease into that. So I feel like me going early, I can find my balance with school and soccer.
That's good. That's good. And I like what you said for you, because this isn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we had to make sure that. How did you get to graduate early, first of all?
I just was able to join like certain programs at my school, and I had credits done that some people, I had credits that I did freshman year that some people were doing senior year, and by the time like senior year came around, I only had like one credit left, and I just finished that credit in the same semester.
Now, going to school, now you're about to get ready to go on to this rigorous program of weight training every morning, getting up at how early?
I mean, probably like 4 or 5 a.m.
Wow. But now, is that a problem for you?
I mean, not really. I'm used to waking up at 5 because my school is started at 7. But I feel like 5 a.m. and then going straight into weight training, that's going to be a transition. So
yeah, and then when season starts and you start to have to practice after weight training, you're going into practice too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you got to go to class, and then you're trying to have a life. How you feel like you're going to be able to juggle all of that?
I mean, I've juggled it so far especially with competitive soccer and school. I've been able to maintain good grades, but I feel like now it's just a step higher, and I feel like I'm gonna like ease into it, but you know, I just feel like I should take it one step at a time.
Now, there are some things that you're missing out on, you know, hanging out with your friends. This is senior year. This is the second one. And, you know, there was a debate within our family, you know, whether this is a good idea or not for you to go early. And, you know, you're missing out on prom and stuff. You can come back, but it's going to be different, you know. How do you feel about that part of the situation?
I feel like I had to, of course, like leaving my friends and like my family was hard, but I feel like thinking just for me and like what was good for me was more important. Well, not more important, but I had to think of like my best interest. I feel like just starting school early would get me a head start, and I feel like I could always come back too, because Alabama's just like 3.5 hours away. So I feel like I wouldn't really be missing out on stuff per se, like the stuff that I want. But yeah, I feel like for me, it's just starting early was the best decision.
Do you think that, well, if you had a chance to do it differently, would you play soccer? Would you play on this level? If you had a chance to do anything in your soccer career differently, what would you have done?
Be less hard on myself. I feel like being hard on myself impacted like my confidence in my play. So I feel like just being like more carefree, that's something I would change.
How would you remind yourself to not take this so seriously? It's a gray line. You see, it's a fine line. So how would you keep yourself sane and humble and confident?
I feel like some people, they go through different stuff. I feel like with soccer, people experience soccer like differently, and my experience is different from someone else's experience. So I feel like going into college soccer, I want to more like focus on like hanging out with friends or just being able to find time to focus on myself, because I know college soccer, especially on a Division I level, is very time consuming. So I just want to make the most out of it and just get as much time for myself as well.
I think one of the things that we've done as parents and with you, we sat down and we wrote pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? The benefits of going early versus the benefits of staying. And once we looked at it, we studied it, and you saw that, you know, it was just the best idea to leave early. So, you know, we're going to miss you at the house. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to miss you being in your room with the door closed, minding your business. But at the same time, you know, it's time for growth and it's time for change. And it's going to happen eventually. So our time is now. So, you know, I just want you to keep being hungry, keep being humble, you know, keep God first. You know what I'm saying? We are 3.5 hours away and we are ready, you know what I'm saying, for whatever. You know, I look forward to the traveling of the games and all those good things. Is there anything that you want to say to the people, to the parents, to the children or the student athletes that are coming up and have, you know, are about to embark in the shoes that you have walked in?
I'd say just have fun. I feel like just keeping that in your head and just being carefree, not putting too much pressure on yourself, because I mean, this is just an experience that you're gonna really think about for the rest of your life, and it's gonna impact you. So I'd say like have fun and just be confident.
Yeah, I mean, we always say sports is a metaphor for life, and you know, these things have showed her how to overcome obstacles, how to deal with people, different from different walks of life. I mean, how to handle tough situations, how to stay humble, how not to get too cocky, and you know, but you know, when her best soccer is being played, she's not out there thinking on the field. She's just using instincts. But where is the instincts coming from? It's coming from the work, right? So we encourage all of the parents, all of the students, athletes, and young athletes to put the work in, and so you can enjoy the sport. It shouldn't be you got to do this or else, or this or all the pressure that comes with it. I mean, let it flow. Let it be as natural as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I mean, just stay positive. I feel like being negative won't really make a change. I feel like being negative is just gonna keep you in a place where you don't want to be. And so I feel like also just talking to people or just reaching out to people who love you is also gonna help as well.
One more thing. How do you get psyched up for games?
I feel like talking to myself, or just like looking in the mirror and like, or just envisioning like positive things I'm gonna do, or how I'm gonna lock a person up. That's definitely gonna hype me up. Or just like being around people who have like hyped up energy. I feel like being around people that changes how you feel in that sense. So yeah.
Okay. We used to try to play music for you. That didn't work very well, did it?
I mean, it kind of does.
Oh,
certain
okay.
music, yeah.
All right. We was playing Rocky, Eye of the Tiger, all kinds of stuff to pump her up, and then when she gets out there, we're like, but it was, you know, when she found her niche, she found her groove, and that's what we're proud of. So we're very proud parents. We encourage everybody who's going through this same level just to enjoy the ride, because just like that, it'll be over with. So, you know, we're about to sign off. Welcome to Being to the Utmost. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, follow, subscribe, tell a friend, tell everybody about what you saw here today. Because what we're trying to do is soar to the utmost. We do not believe in mediocrity. We want to strive to be the best that we can be with the God-given talents that we've been bestowed upon. So keep doing your things, and we're signing off. Be cool.